I'm Kalle Oakes reporting for SunJournal.com, SJ Varsity, and the Sun Media Group here at Great New Gloucester High School, home of the Patriots, and their 2011 football camp is underway. Great New Gloucester, one of those schools that has kind of been up and down as they've tried to find their footing in the Class B division of the Campbell Conference in recent years. 2 years ago, 3 victories, a pretty big senior class. They kind of had things going in the right direction. Last year, definitely a building year with a new coach, a lot of new kids, and an 0-9 record. Not many schools have been hit harder by the MPA's decision to stick with a 3-class system as opposed to 4 than Great New Gloucester. There are only 2 students above the cutoff line right now. That makes them the smallest team in terms of numbers in Class B, smallest school anyway. Good news for them, definitely a good senior core, an experienced offensive line, and some kids in key positions that kind of took their lumps last year may be ready to go for it here in 2011 as they work to move their way upward in the Campbell Conference. We talked to Coach Phil Preto and some of those kids about those very subjects. Coach, tell us how the preseason's coming along here at Great New Gloucester. What's the outlook for the team this year? I guess you got a pretty good core group from last season returning.
Yeah, we've got pretty much everybody returning from last season. We're still a young team. We're building up from the ground up. We've got 4 seniors only, so we're getting there slowly. It's a long process, as you probably know, of rebuilding. The freshman sophomore team is pretty strong. Juniors a little bit stronger than the seniors. We missed going to Class C, I guess, by just a couple of kids, and we are the youngest, so it's going to be a tough season. I mean, I think B West is probably pretty strong of the 2 B teams, B leagues this year. I think we'll do all right, against the smaller schools, and we open up with Poland this next Friday, which is going to be good.
We're here with Great New Gloucester quarterback, linebacker Roman Ladno. And Roman, talk about the season and the team. I guess in some ways it's young, but in other ways you got a lot of guys back from last year. A lot of experience.
Yes, we do. I think this season's going to go well for us, a lot better than last year. We didn't lose much on the senior side. We only have 4 seniors this year, but it's all right. We can still manage. We're not big in numbers, not huge in size either, but you don't have to be huge to win games. You can always be smaller and faster than bigger, slower kids. That's my philosophy. That's a lot of other people's philosophies.
Here with Josh Bagden, tight end linebacker from Great New Gloucester. And Josh, tell us about the offense a little bit. You guys got another year under your belt. What are some things you're going to be able to do that you might not have done last year?
Oh, well, basically everything's just kind of cleaner. We changed a couple of the formations and the plays, and we're hoping to disguise a little more of what we're doing and hopefully just being able to execute better than we did before.
Here with John Greenleaf, running back and outside linebacker for Great New Gloucester. Talk a little bit about the defense, John. Is it going to be a strength for the team this year? Is there a lot of experience in that, coming back to that point?
It's actually a new defense for us. We're running at 3-5, so it's definitely new. We get like a week of practice into it, so it's definitely going to be different for us. And hopefully it's going to comes up and all the team run that kind of defense.
Now, was that kind of to take advantage of the athletes you got? Why change to something like that? Is it because of your quickness as a defense?
It's because we don't have the best, biggest linemen. So we decided to take 3 of our best linemen, put them on the line, and then get our biggest kid play middle linebacker and get our speed on the outsides.
We're here with Colby Bowen from Great New Gloucester. Colby's a guard and a linebacker. And Colby, just talk about your role as a senior on the team. It's a fairly young group. What are you hoping to accomplish with the younger kids as they continue to move forward?
Well, it's always a goal as a senior to be able to look back and say those kids have grown dramatically this year, and well, we want to get better as a team so we can keep this program moving forward.
How has the journey been for you as a senior? You've been through 4 years. You had probably some ups and downs, but you think this is a chance to end on a high note this year?
The journey's been tough. We've had a few different coaches in the past couple of years, but we've got one that stayed for a few years now, and he's a good coach. And yeah, we've had some ups and downs, but this is definitely a high point. We had a lot of returning players, a lot of skill on the field. It's going to be a good season.
As we mentioned, a lot of on-the-job training for the Patriots last year in the Campbell Conference. A lot of those kids will be back this year, however. Josh Bagden, a big tight end, defensive lineman, he will be in the mix. Colby Bowen was a fullback last year, and he'll be moving to the offensive line, which other than him is quite experienced at that position. Colin Skilling, Cam Quintel will be some of the faces there. Second-year quarterback Roman Latno will be taking that position, taking the snaps and calling the signals again for the Patriots this year. And John Greenleaf, he's a halfback who brings some experience to the table. Now, Greater Gloucester has lost its traditional rival along Route 226 as Poland has moved from Class B down to Class C. As we mentioned, Greater Gloucester not able to make that move as of yet, so they'll be in the mix with some big schools. They'll have some tough opponents, but certainly with the likes of Freiburg and Lake Region in the league, Greater Gloucester sees a chance to win a couple of games, maybe get some momentum as they build toward the future and continue to try to build a power and a program here in Class B. Here in Gray for SunJournal.com and the Sun Media Group and SJ Varsity, I'm Kalle Oakes. See you on the sidelines.